Hello friend, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and doing great. So today I'm back with another videos with another books to give a review on. If you guys wanted to buy any one of these best-selling book, you can visit our Amazon page and buy it from there. So today I'm back with another books. Today we're going to see three books in this video and three of them about business, finance, and law. I have already made some videos on this topic too. So if you guys haven't watched it yet, you can visit our channel and watch it there. So the first book about business, finance, and law, which we're going to see today in this video, is the Wandering Goals by Ben Rowland. Introduction. Ben Rowland's Wandering Goals is a breathtaking exploration of methodology, mythology, philosophy, and the human condition. It is a story that traditional transcends traditional fantasy and enters the realm of spiritual reflection and emotional growth through poetic language and profound insight. Rowland reimagines the concepts of divinity in the modern world, a world where faith has faded and gods are left to wander forgotten and powerless. This novel stands as both an epic myth and a quiet meditation on belief, loss, and rediscovery. It is a story that forces readers to ask timeless questions. What becomes of gods when their worshippers disappears? When their worshippers disappear, what happens to belief when humanity loses faith in the second? And can divinity exist without devotion? Overview of the plot. The novel begins with a haunting image: temples crumbling into dust, altars abandoned, and prayers silenced by time. The gods, once mighty and adored, now find themselves exiled from their heavenly realms and condemned to walk the earth among mortals. Each chapter follows a different deity or group of deities. Some blending their personal stories into a larger tapestry of divine exile. Some research search for meaning, for some for revenge, and some for redemption. They move through a world that has forgotten them, encouraging encountering humans who unknowingly teach them lessons about compassion, purpose, and mortality. As the narrative unfolds, readers see the codes transform from distant, all powerful beings into vulnerable, introspective souls. The wanderings become symbolic journeys of self discovery, mirroring the human quest for identity and faith in a certain age. Major characters and define archetypes. The war god, once a mighty symbol of strength and conquest, the war god now struggles with the senseless violence of modern conflict, where once battle was fought in the name of honor or destiny. He now witnesses chaos driven by greed and politics. His arc reflects the futility of power without purpose and the need to find peace within destruction. The goddess of love. The goddess of love represents the goddess of love represents the beauty and pain of human connection. One surrounded by songs, one surrounded by songs and offerings, she now walks unseen among people who confuse love with possession and passion with control. Her journey is one of rediscovery, learning that love is not found in worship but in kindness. But in kindness, empathy, and sacrifice. The trickster goat, with witty, chaotic, and unpredictable, the brings humor and wisdom to the story. To the story, beneath his laughter lies deep sadness. The loneliness of being misunderstood. His character questions the boundaries between truth and illusion, teaching readers that sometimes chaos is necessary for transformation. The Earth Mother. She embodies creation, fertility, and endurance. Weakened by neglect of nature, she walks through polluted lands and forgotten forests, mourning what once was, yet her spirit remains unbroken. Remains unbroken, symbolizing hope, rebirth, and the eternal cycle of life. These characters together form a pantheon of lost divinity, each mirroring a part of the human soul. Through their experiences, Rowland shows that the divine exists not above humanity but within it. Themes and symbolism. The loss of faith. At its core, Pandering Gods explores the erosion of faith in the modern age. Rowland portrays a world where people have replaced belief with ambition, spirituality with technology, and reverence with self interest. Spirituality with technology, and reverence with self interest. The gold's fading power symbolizes humanity's disconnection from the sacred and the spiritual emptiness that follows. The search for meaning. Each rendering embarks on a journey not only through the world but through the self. The question, their purpose, their identity, and their worth in a world that no longer believes in them. This mirrors the universe human struggle to find meaning in an indifferent universe. Mortality and divinity. Rowland blurs the line between godhood and humanity when stripped of their power. The gods experience the fragility, pain, and beauty of mortal life. Through suffering, they learn empathy and humility, discovering that perhaps mortality is not a curse but a gift. The essence of understanding, the growth, belief as creation. A central idea in the novel is that gods are sustained by human belief. Without worshippers, they fade. This concept becomes a profound metaphor for art, culture, and memory, suggesting that creation itself depends on faith, whether in gods, ideas, or one another. Redemption and transformation. Despite the tragedy of their fall, the gods find redemption in their newfound humanity. The wanderings lead them to compassion, forgiveness, and inner peace. Rowland reminds readers that redemption is not found in power or eternity, but in love, sacrifice, and understanding. Writing style and language. Ben Rowland's prose is both poetic and philosophical. His sentences are beautifully crafted, filled with rhythm, metaphor, and emotion. He writes not just to describe, but to evoke. Each scene feels alive with imagery. From the silence of forgotten temples to the bustling noise of modern cities, where gods walk unseen among crowds. The novels the novels alternates between melancholy and wonder. Rowland captures the loneliness of the divine with elegance. Yet his words never sink into despair. There is always an undercurrent of hope, a quiet reminder that even when forgotten, the gods forgotten, the gods and what they present endure in memory and spirit. His dialogue too is layered and meaningful. Conversations between gods and mortals often serve as philosophical debates, exploring questions of purpose, morality, and existence. Rowlands achieves a delicate conversations. Rowland achieves a delicate balance, intellectual without being pretentious, emotional without being sentimental. Conclusion. Ben Rowland's Wandering Courts is a masterpiece, a lyrical, philosophical, and emotionally resonant novel that redefines mythological storytelling. It is both an epic and an introspection, a tale of gods and a reflection of humankind. Through rich symbolism, poetic prose, and deep emotional insight, Rowland crafts a narrative that lingers long after the final page. His story of wandering deities become become a mirror for every reader, searching for meaning, belonging, and belief in an uncertain world. Ultimately, Wandering Gods teaches that faith need not belong to religion alone. It lives in art, in love, in dreams, and in every act of creation. The gods they wander, but through us they are never truly lost. The next book which we're going to see today in this video about the business, finance and law is the greatest story ever told by Bear Grylls. Introduction: A journey beyond survival. Bear Grylls, the celebrated adventurer and survival expert known across the world for his daring expeditions and fearless personality, surprises readers once again. But this time, not through tales of scaling icy mountains or battling the wild. In the greatest story ever told, Grills turns inward, exploring the landscape of the human spirit. This book is not about survival in the physical sense. It's about the survival of the soul. It's about faith, hope, forgiveness, and rediscovering the purpose of life. Through one of the most powerful and enduring narratives in the history, the story of the Jesus Christ. Throughout his career, Bear Grylls have been admired not only for his courage and determination, but also for his humility and resilience. These qualities are woven deeply into the fabric of this book. Rather than lecturing, he invites readers on a shared journey, a personal adventure of faith. In his characteristic voice, both raw and comforting, Grills opens up about his relationship with faith, his struggles with doubt, and how belief has guided him through the darkest and most dangerous chapters of his life. Rediscovering faith through adventure. At its core, the greatest story ever told is a reimagining of the Christian story. One that feels accessible, personal, and deeply human. Grills doesn't present religion as rigid or distant. Instead, he paints faith as something living, breathing, and dynamic. Something that must be experienced rather than merely studied. He reminds readers that life itself is the expedition. Greatest expedition full of uncertainty, beauty, and peril. Just as he once faced wild terrains, unpredictable weather, and physical exhaustion, he now faces the deeper challenges of the heart: fear, pride, and the longing for meaning. Through his adventures, both physical and spiritual, Grills shows that faith can be the rope that keeps us falling into despair when the cliffs of the grow too steep. From the mountains to the cross, lessons from the wild. One of the most compelling features of this book is how Grills intertwines his faith journey with his life as an adventurer. Each of his stories, whether he's describing a near death experience in the Arctic, a harrowing fall during a climb, or moments of isolation in remote jungles, carries a metaphorical weight. He draws parallels between surviving in the wilderness and navigating the wilderness of the soul. When Grills writes about clinging to a rope while hanging off a mountain, he compares it to clinging to faith when life's challenges threaten to pull us down. He admits that courage isn't about the absence of fear, it's the decision to trust in something greater than yourself. His stories become parables in their own right, teaching resilience, humility, and surrender. He also reflects on the power of prayer, describing it describing it describing it not as a ritual but as a lifeline, a way to stay connected with God in moments of fear or confusion. He also reflects on Grills believes that prayer is less about words and more about honesty. It's speaking to God from the heart even when we feel lost. themes and teachings that resonate. Throughout the greatest story ever told, Bear Grylls explores several powerful themes that resonate deeply with modern readers. Faith in the face of fear. Grills emphasizes that fear is natural, but faith transforms it into courage. Just as he has faced danger in the wild, he urges readers to confront emotional life's emotional and spiritual dangers with trust in God, forgiveness and redemption. One of the book's most powerful lessons is about letting go of guilt and bitterness. Bitterness Krill speaks. Grill speaks. Grill speaks candidly about his own failures and weaknesses. Failures and weaknesses, explaining how forgiveness, both giving and receiving, has been essential in his healthy journey, healing journey. Purpose and meaning. Grills invites readers to reflect on their purpose beyond worldly success. For him, true fulfillment doesn't come from fame, wealth, or accomplishment, but from serving others and staying true to one's values. Gratitude and humility. Despite his fame and achievements, Grills remains grounded. Grounded, he writes about the importance of gratitude, appreciating the small blessings in life, and humility, recognizing that strength comes from dependence on something greater than ourselves. Endurance through faith. Endurance through faith. The book reminds readers that life will not always be easy, will not always be easy, but faith gives endurance just as adventures prepare for storms. Krills encourages spiritual preparedness through prayer, compassion, and trust. Conclusion. The ultimate adventure, the greatest story ever told by Grills, is not just a book about faith, it is an invitation to embark on the greatest. It is an invitation to embark on the greatest adventure of all, the adventure of behaving. It is about trusting when we cannot see, forgiving when it's hardest, and finding peace in surrender. Grill's heartfelt storytelling and spiritual insights makes this truly, regardless of background or belief, it's a book that encourages readers, to live boldly, love deeply, and never lose sight of hope. So here we have our last book which we're going to see today in this video about the religion and spirituality. A journey through the mysteries of heaven. The book is The Almighty Ancients and Angels Revealed. Roy Brown's The Almighty Ancients and Angels Revealed is an ambitious and thought provoking exploration of faith, spirituality, and hidden wisdom of ancient civilizations. It bridges the divine and the human, the physical and the metaphysical, offering readers a deep reflection on the nature of angels, the role of ancient beings in shaping humanity, and the eternal relationship between God and creation. From the very first pages, Brown that demonstrates that his mystery of both theological inquiry and historical analysis. His book reads like a revelation, an attempt to uncover truths that have long been obscured by time, dogma, and disbelief. By weaving together scripture, ancient methodology, and spiritual insights, he presents a narrative that challenges readers. He presents a narrative that challenges readers to consider what they think they know about divine order and celestial power. Exploring the divine, the central theme. At its core, the Almighty Ancient and Angels revealed book is a book about discovery, discovering who we are, where we came from, and the forces that guide us. Brown suggests that the answers lie not only in the heavens but also in the wisdom of ancient civilizations, ancient civilizations who may have understood divine mysteries more deeply than modern humanity gives them credit for. Through careful research and passionate conviction, he argues that the ancients and angels of history were more than mere myths. They were messengers, teachers, and guardians of divine truth. He examines how these celestial beings influenced human evolution, culture, and spiritual awareness, showing how faith and knowledge were once fulfilled, were once unified before the world became divided by skepticism. Brown's approach is not purely religious nor entirely historical. It's a fusion of both. He invites readers into a dialogue between science and spirituality, science and spirituality, reason and revelation. This balance gives the book its unique power. It neither rejects religion nor science, but instead sees both as essential tools for understanding the greater mysteries of creation. Style and presentation. Why this book matters. In a world increasingly dominated by materialism and skepticism, the almighty ancients and angels revealed stands as a reminder that there are still mysteries beyond human comprehension. Brown's work encourages readers to look beyond what they can see and to listen to the whispers of the divine. Of the divine. It appeals to both believers seeking deeper faith and skeptics. The book bridges religion, history, and metaphysics, creating a holistic perspective on humanity's relationship with God and the celestial order. For those interested in angels, ancient wisdoms, or divine mysteries, this book offers a rich, enlightening, and transformating experience. Conclusion: the almighty ancients and angels revealed by Roy Brown is more than a spiritual study. It is a profound journey into the eternal mysteries of creation. Of creation, it reminds readers that faith and knowledge are intertwined and that divine world is not as far away as we might think. Through his eloquent writing and visionary insight, Brown has created a book that educates, inspires, and uplifts. It challenges the intellect while touching the heart, leading readers closer to an understanding of God's infinite wisdom and the angelic forces that surrounds us. In a time when humanity seeks meaning amid confusion, Roy Brown's message shines like a beacon that we are not alone. We are not alone, that the ancients still speak through history, and that the angels of the Almighty continue to reveal His truth to those who seek it with open hearts. This is all we have from this book. I hope you guys like it. If you did, don't forget to press the like button. I'll be back with another videos, with another books. Till then, just take care and goodbye.